Hello and welcome to the Overly Animated Podcast, where we take animation seriously. We talk everything animation here, including Steven Universe, which we'll be getting into right now. I'm Dylan Hysen, and today I'm joined by Alex Bonilla.
Hola.
And Andy Potter.
Hello.
Today we are, well, Happy New Year, New Year's Eve, and this New Year's Eve night is Steven Universe night because the show only airs on holidays now, and we are talking Together Alone, the latest episode of the exciting Diamond Days arc in Steven Universe. We're talking every Diamond Days new episode or event or any new Steven Universe episode right after the episode here at the Overly Animated Podcast. Find us at overlyanimated.com or search for Overly Animated Steven Universe on iTunes, so subscribe there, or we cross-post all our podcasts to our YouTube at youtube.com/overlyanimated as well, and you could subscribe there to not miss any future Steven podcasts. We just saw the episode, so we'll be getting into reactions on Together Alone. Only seen it once, going to be trying to process it. A lot of information here. Spoilers for this and all previous episodes, and Justin, I believe, will all be having a feedback show later in the week, so leave your comments on YouTube, the YouTube video, or the post at overlyanimated.com to get your feedback in for the second feedback show, the second show of the week for Steven Universe, the feedback show. But let's get into our reactions for Together Alone. Alex, what did you think of this episode?
It was very strange because I feel like for most of the episode, I was like, okay, let's keep moving. And then like the final minute and a half happened, and it felt like an entire episode happened in those like 90 seconds. And then by the end, I was like, wait, that was a full episode? Like it was a very weird experience. I think that this is probably a step down from previous episodes, but like just the last 2 or 3 minutes of this episode is just so wild and crazy. Like that alone could take up an entire podcast, just those final 90 seconds of footage there. But yeah, the rest of it is fine enough. Like you see Steven going through party stuff. There's lots of jokes going around. So it was still a fun episode regardless, but I felt my initial reactions after when it ended was, wait, that was 11 minutes?
Yeah, it went by fast. Okay, so we'll be getting to that. Andy, what did you think of Together Alone?
Overall, I think I agree with Alex. It both moved really fast and really slow at times, and I don't know. It's just sometimes some parts of the episode I really liked, and some parts I'm just kind of down on. I agree this is a step down from last week, and it really feels like they were trying to get out some information to us before we get to the really meaty stuff in that 45-minute special thing that's going to happen later in the month. And I was really excited. I was really excited about a couple of things in here that I really want to talk about. There's some really creepy nightmare stuff, and I always love that. And I really, really liked all the fusions that happened this episode. This is officially the most fusions in an episode now, right?
Yeah, I think probably.
Like there was 4. That's crazy. That's a lot.
There's a lot of fusions. Yeah. Okay. I mean, maybe I'm higher on this than you guys. I don't know. It's tough to process this episode. This was a weird, like, more low key, but at the same time, a ton of information. And also it feels like a step to the next thing that's going to happen, like the next big thing. Yeah. This definitely feels like it could have been part of an event. Like Cartoon Network could have just combined legs, last week, this week, and I assume next week into an hour event. I mean, this was directly connects to the previous episode, and I assume from the preview they're going to be Steven and Connie in whatever room. So that's interesting airing this on its own, but I do think it works. I think there's a lot of things in here that I really like. The ending is fantastic. But I really like just the quiet moments in the middle of the episode. I mean, quiet in quotes, since it's crazy Homeworld stuff that we're experiencing like for the first time, but just the interactions with the 2 pearls, I think were fantastic. Oh, and I was like, in my initial thoughts, that's my favorite. The part I enjoyed most of the episode was just like hanging out with with yellow and blue pearl. It was pretty fantastic. They had some prime reactions there.
Dee Dee's line read for "Oh My Stars" was like the funniest thing.
Stars. No, yeah, like that. Yeah. It was there's a bunch of what is on. That was a good one too.
I can't believe last episode's like, this is Yellow Pearl's greatest episode, and then this episode happens, and now I'm like, I don't know.
Yellow Pearl's Yellow Pearl's clearly the best character. Well, take this one, and then Blue Pearl was fantastic here with her drawings, and
so strong. were so precious.
They were precious. Yeah, and I thought everything else was really good too. Just talking to Blue and Yellow, it felt, I guess like the biggest criticism you can make is it felt maybe exposition-y, I guess, about some things like talking to the Diamonds, like, oh, here's how this works, here's what's expected. So I don't know if any parts with the Diamonds prior to the end of the episode were super fantastic, but I thought they were enjoyable, and I'm still not like over the thrill of having Blue and Yellow just like casually talking to them. Like that's still crazy, and I think fantastic. So I don't know. I think this episode is really good. Definitely would take last week's, at least that's my initial reaction. But I think there's a lot of good stuff here to get into, and some exciting stuff at the end of the episode that I want to start with, for sure. Because everything kind of goes to crap at the end of this episode. I guess Yellow Diamond kind of freaks out here, and
everybody freaks out.
Yeah. Well, so we Steven and Connie predictably kind of fuse together when they start dancing.
However, not as predictably. Connie is the one who pulls out Steven and is like, hey, let's go dance in front of people. And I'm proud of my girl Connie for like finally like just be like, forget all these people watching. We'll just dance in public. And like compare that to how Connie was in the beginning of the show. And like she was so afraid of everything. And like Steven was the one to pull her out of her shell. And now she's the one doing it. It's such a great relationship, and I was like, yes, Connie, you're the one to do this. This is great. And then Stevonnie happens.
Yeah. Connie was just so bold and like fun loving, I think, in that moment. It definitely is a contrast to earlier there, and I think she's being there for Steven in every way. Like that's what Steven, I guess, needs right now. He's going through all of this that's probably not healthy for him, and and I think Connie's reaction was fantastic. And yeah, and then they fuse into Stevonnie. I feel like they should have seen that coming. And then the two of them, they should have been like, yeah, that's probably what would happen if we start dancing. Have they danced and not fused in the show before? The two of them?
I think once, like pre like them fusing ever, but that's it.
That might be it, yeah. And then everyone starts fusing. Garnet fuses back after being separated before. Pearl and Amethyst fuse into Opal. And then two random...
I can't believe I did the Opal thing in the last podcast too, and Opal happens here. Like,
yeah, you made an Opal joke, and then Opal actually.
All my dreams are coming true.
When was Opal last in the show?
A long time ago.
I don't know if it was Log Date when she's helping Paradox, or they're helping with like building the ship.
That was a long time ago, but yeah.
Yeah, I think that's the last time Opal's done anything.
Very good to see Opal, and then two random gems fuse, and that's a big, and then there's a big ruckus. Yellow poofs everyone. I forgot about that part. Okay, I'm reading that now, and just everyone gets poofed except for Steven, yep. I guess. Like, is it like literally all of our main cast? And then is Pearl okay?
Well, Pearl gets poofed too. Like,
really?
Because she's part of Opal.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, okay.
Yellow poofed all three of the fusions besides Stevonnie.
Yeah, rip new gems.
Yep.
I'm concerned about them, and precious new babies getting fused for what did they say what they fused?
We knew we weren't the only ones or something like that.
Oh, so they're fusing in secret. Wow, what a secret Homeworld love affair.
And this explains why the diamonds are like yellow and blue diamonds just freak out. Because it's like, oh no, it's public. Like other gems of different things confused. Because like imagine Garnet, that thing happened like 5,000 years ago. Yeah. Maybe they've been good at like suppressing history to the point that the gems of today just didn't know that was allowed, like even doable. But now you have like Garnet existing in public, Stevonnie existing in public, and that gives this group, this couple here, that like, hey, wait, we're not the only ones. And so like that will begin to break down society, and the diamonds, like they've been going along with Steven's thing, like, hey, let's do Era 3, sure. But you can tell like they're not actually doing much to change anything, because they're like, hey, you have to stick to these traditions though, no matter what. And so, like, the existence of Stevonnie changes things totally for Homeworld now, and it explains both why the diamonds are so freaked out, but also that something needs to happen now that this element has been introduced into Homeworld society again.
Yeah, I think that's a good analysis of the way it's going to affect things there, and why it might be such a big thing to what the Homeworld gems are experiencing. Were those two separate types of gems? The two new ones?
Yeah, we see them a lot in the scene when the diamonds are walking in. They're like talking they're talking, and they're slightly different. Like a lot of the gems in this scene are very similar looking, but they're all like slightly different colorations.
Okay, that looks similar to me, yeah. But new things regardless. It's just very exciting seeing a bunch of new gem designs. I think just to start with, it's like wow, okay, you're seeing tens of new gems like every episode here. It's nuts.
And more wall gems.
Were there more wall gems this episode?
The disco ball gems, Dylan.
I didn't notice the disco ball.
There was a disco ball gem?
Yes, you didn't see the disco ball? Like,
no.
There were so many gems. It was like sensory overload. You have to forgive us here.
Like during the beginning of the ball scene, they panned up to it like 3 times. Like there was a thing on the wall.
There's a face on it?
Yeah, there was like 3 gems around like a thing with a spinning spirally ball of disco light.
Okay, I'll look for that. Okay, wow. Just got to go back and watch the ball scene. I feel like again just a few times to try to process everything there. And then Yellow throws Steven and Connie into is this Pink's room, because it's just a random room behind the ball, right?
It's unclear.
Yeah,
a timeout room.
A timeout room. Yeah, I guess it could be Pink's room, but I didn't know if it was connected. Like the ballroom is connected to Pink's room or something.
I do like the little thing that like Yellow doesn't want to attack Pink. Like, even though she's mad at Pink, she doesn't want to hurt her. Like, I think that's how I read this, at least.
Yeah, definitely poofs everyone except for Steven. So I think that's shows that I think probably a result of the bonding we've seen them do the past few episodes. But yeah, that's a big reaction from Yellow. Alex, were you shocked when this happened?
I was just shocked at how fast everything happened. Like it went from Stevonnie happening, then Garnet shows up, and then Opal comes out of nowhere, and then like you only get like 5 seconds before Yellow Diamond just starts poofing everybody. So I was more shocked by just the suddenness of it and the suddenness of it going away, and then like the episode just ends. Like the pacing was very, very breakneck. So that was the more shocking part. The diamonds being so anti-fusion is not surprising, because as again, I think that this episode does well in showing that they're like playing along with Steven's idea of, hey, let's get White Diamond to change things, but then they force him to stick to these stringent things. So their attitudes on fusion are not surprising in that context.
Yeah, I think once you think about it, it's not surprising what Yellow did, but we've also seen Yellow sympathetic recently, or some version of sympathetic, so it's maybe shocking to see this side of her again, although we just saw it in Reunited, right? So, Andy, what was your reaction to everything at the end?
I think a lot of this is still indecipherable from our point of view, because we still don't know enough about White Diamond, because White Diamond was watching this. Like, I'm kind of on the train of White Diamond can like literally see through White Pearl's eyes right now. And so I think Yellow knew that White Diamond was literally watching and just wanted it all to just be gone as quick as possible. And that's how I'm reading this entire scene.
Oh, so you think Yellow reacted that way because Yellow knew White was watching?
Yes. I think she would have reacted a lot less. I think she still would have not liked it if White Diamond wasn't watching, but I think she reacted so aggressively because White Diamond was watching.
I like that idea, because they were talking about, oh, you have to behave. White's going to be there this whole time.
Yeah.
You need to be on our best behavior for White. And then, White Pearl shows up. That was, like, I think the biggest thing we haven't mentioned yet is that White Pearl is there, White Diamond does not show up, and White Pearl is watching everything. And I definitely agree that White Pearl has been presented in the 2 times we've seen her so far as kind of a conduit for White Diamond. I wouldn't be surprised if White was literally seeing through White Pearl's eyes. Some people speculated that White Pearl is just a part of White Diamond. But it was, regardless, you get the impression White was observing the events, or the party, as Andy mentioned, the parties present may have thought that she was, or been under the impression. Alex, what did you think of White Pearl here?
I think she was sufficiently creepy. I like the shot of her going from the smile to the frowny face.
Oh man,
like that was great. Just White Diamond continues to not show up, so it's still setting her up to be like some mythical villain type person, even though we don't really know what her deal is still yet. We only know based on how Yellow and Blue react to her. So I'm still waiting on that. But yeah, White Pearl's okay.
Oh, sounds like White Pearl would be 4th in your Pearl rankings from what you said.
Yeah, she needs to do more. If she needs to get in a fight, I don't know.
I mean, it's hard for a Pearl to beat out any other Pearl if she doesn't have Dee Dee voicing her.
Yeah, that's true. The only non-Dee Dee Pearl, yeah. The Pearl rankings would probably be our Pearl, Yellow Pearl, Blue Pearl, and then White Pearl.
I don't know. I like Blue Pearl a lot, Dylan. Blue Pearl
Yeah,
is good.
I'm close, but I think today I go yellow, but blue has potential to move up.
Okay, we'll talk about that. We'll talk about that. Why the introductions of all the diamonds to the ball was yellow, and then we just see the reaction blue, and then blue pearls. Everyone, prepare yourselves emotionally.
Yeah.
For blue diamond. That's me before every Steven Universe episode, right? Prepare yourselves emotionally. Yep. And then, then White Pearl announces that White Diamond has more important things to do. So, not more important things to attend to. So Pearl is attending in place. Welcome to Era 3, says Pearl as well. White Pearl as well.
Yeah, and then the Steven rage of darn it, he slams his fist on the chair. I think I like seeing Steven getting riled up because of this, just frustrated with how things are going.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, Delaney was planned on joining us, but her stream cut out. Her reaction was, I guess she saw the end of the episode. Gasp, Stevonnie, OMG, rude, yellow. So there's Delaney's reactions. And
it's like she's here.
Very uncanny, yeah, to Delaney being here. So the diamond introductions and white being there. The Era 3 thing was what I'm talking about. Alex, what's the significance of announcing that it's Era 3, do you think?
Well, I think it's this thing where the diamonds want to play into Steven wanting change, but not really doing anything about it. Because to them, Era 1 is Pink Diamond was here. Era 2 is when Pink Diamond left. So now Era 3 is Pink Diamond is back. And that's their idea of what eras mean. To Steven and to Pearl, because Pearl also, when she hears it, is like, wow, you're making changes in the world. It's their idea of eras are changing the system, whereas the diamonds are just no, we have our family together. That's what's important. Who cares about how we're running the kingdom or the system? So I think it just comes down to very different viewpoints on what eras really mean to both parties.
Honestly, I read it more like a we've always been at war with East Asia type deal. They're just trying to make they're trying to make it look outwardly like something's changing, but the diamonds other than Steven don't really want anything to change.
Okay. Yeah, I think that's an interesting perspective. Maybe we're trying to assuage Steven here, announcing it's Era 3. I wonder if there's some added significance to the diamonds. I mean, why does White Diamond care about this? I
don't think she does. I just don't think she does at all.
I have more important things to attend to.
Right. It's White Pearl though that announces that it's welcome to Era 3.
On behalf of White Diamond.
Yeah. Yeah. But I'm under the assumption White Pearl is White Diamond.
But I mean, I think that she sends White Pearl, because it's this is just a figurehead. This is to make it look like White Diamond cares, but she actually doesn't.
So, yeah. Okay. Yeah, that does play into what you guys are saying. Okay. So I feel like maybe there's something. We seem to be mentioning the eras a lot. So either it's the direct symbolism to what you guys are talking about, or there's going to be something to come, I think, with that.
I think we're definitely going to enter Era 3 with the gems here. It's just this is not the moment where we enter Era 3. Era 3 is going to happen after the battle part in mind.
Yeah, I mean, we'd expect the biggest things to be coming up, for sure.
And in one way or another, it is the arrival of Steven that is going to... Whatever stuff happens, it's because of Steven showing up.
Yeah. That is the big catalyst for whatever's happening here. Will this fusion stuff cause a ripple effect in Homeworld, like we're talking about? The yellow quickly poofs everyone, but all the gems that were attending saw this. Is this gonna make some big social movement impact on Homeworld? I think that's something I guess we're going to be looking into. That feels like a hard plot line for the show to track, as a broad thing on the effect on Homeworld. But
it's a long one for it would be one that would take a while to do. But I do think that moment where the gems are we knew we weren't the only ones. That's a big line. There's something that I think you can definitely build on if you want to go that direction. The idea of more gems, like Ruby and Sapphire when they first discovered that they fuse. And they're like, what's going on here? So the idea of more gems discovering this, that is a huge deal in this system.
Yeah, I think so, for sure. And the other effects of this ending scene, just not to shortcut anything, the Stevonnie fusion happening. I mean, this is got to be shocking in just the fact in the fact that it's a human fusing with a diamond. This is, I mean, they call Kanye a pet before, right?
Yeah, that was insulting.
Yeah.
So this is, I feel like that's the most shocking thing ever to everyone is seeing this non-gem fuse with a diamond. I mean, this is
That was a really good DD voice, Dylan. A diamond.
Diamond, yeah. We're just thinking everything in terms of pearl voices now. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. I feel like this is the big thing. That's like what's white okay. So here's my big thing. Like, what's White Diamond's reaction going to be to Stevonnie? Like, that's kind of always what seems like the biggest. I mean, clearly the other diamonds too, but they kind of know that the crystal gems are weird, so maybe this is not that shocking. Like, White, though, I mean, a human fusing with the diamond, like, she's got to have a huge reaction to this in some capacity. Like, there's got to be some big ripple effect, I think, coming down the line based on Stevonnie.
I'm just not sure this is it yet. I still think we're not at the point where White Diamond's going to leave her head. I think that Steven's going to have to go to White Diamond in this arc.
Yeah, I could definitely see that.
Also, I'd wonder if maybe the diamonds are, now that they've seen this happen, maybe they think like, oh, Pink Diamond was tainted by the humans or by being in contact with them, and that's why like the Rose became this creature that doesn't even remember what Pink Diamond was. Like, I wonder if this will lead to something along the lines of like blaming the humans for ruining Rose or Pink Diamond.
I could see that as diamond logic for sure. Yeah, maybe this leads to a threat of wiping out the Earth again plotline.
Oh, so we could definitely go back to Beach City, is what you're saying, Dylan.
I mean, there was always a thing, right? Like, we can't leave Earth forever, and here's our ticket back.
Yep.
Yeah, I could see Earth being in danger at some point again next week. I mean, the thing is, we only have next week escapism and then the hour thing. So, I mean, that's for probably potentially 4 more episodes. But yeah, it's, you know, work things are gonna happen soon. Yeah, Andy.
Oh no! If we endanger Earth and somehow the fight still ends up in Beach City, I'll be like, why are we here? Like, we're not even on Earth right now.
It'd be frustrating. Okay. Yeah. And then Opal, we talked about. It's very unexpected to see Opal. Just them. Who initiated Opal? Was it both of them?
It looks like they both like jumped into each other. It was really fast, though.
It's very fast. Yeah, Garnet. You could see Garnet fusing again as Garnet. We built that up a little bit. It's like, okay, you're not welcome, Garnet, and then you think, oh, Garnet just won't show up at all, but no, she becomes Ruby and Sapphire, and then they attend.
They also just jumped into each other. There was no like hugging. They just jumped into each other. Well,
because now the Pearl Mephisto relationship in season 5 is very in sync. So once again, showing the development of their relationship. And also, I just love the idea like that both of them are like, hey, those are fusions. They need our protection. In solidarity, we will become a fusion too. Like I love that thinking of like, hey, we're the Crystal Gems. We should all protect each other like this.
It's like an I Am Spartacus moment with the
yeah.
Someone's fusing, we're all fusing here. Yeah, I think so. More. Let's just next episode. Just everyone, even more people fuse now. We're just everyone's fusing. That's the okay.
We're getting real anime with it. We'll get bigger and bigger fusions.
Yeah, I mean that's what this arc is, right? We gotta. Well, this show has done that. Like, what's the next
Are we gonna
evolution
get the temple
of the
fusion at this arc?
Oh, finally, the temple fusion's gonna happen. Yeah, I'm sure.
That's the only they can. You sounded really sarcastic right there.
This is every every Reddit post every month, right?
I haven't seen anybody talk about that ever like the past year.
Wow, we've left it behind. Jeez.
Yeah, it's kind of like a lost cause at this point. However, that would be the only fusion large enough to face White Diamond.
Yeah, like we're finally shutting up about it, but it's finally possible.
No, remember we got to fuse all the diamonds together at some point. Just remember that.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Yeah. Are they allowed to do that, or they have to do that in the form of the ship Voltron?
Yeah, it's related. It's related. I think that's happening. Some form, whatever it's that, or the ships, or that's happening in the hour-long event for sure. I don't know how we've like forced Steven to be a part of it, but maybe Steven thinks that if he fuses with them, then it can that's the way you can actually get into their heads, and
that's how they get back to Earth, because they take the giant ship back to Earth.
Okay, we solved
and they go to Beach City.
I think we're still missing the yellow. I guess yellow is probably backup ships and stuff. But yeah, okay. Let's talk about the rest of the episode. We start with I guess a nightmare sequence with Steven's juggling for a pearl. Do we know what pearl this is that Steven's juggling for?
This is White Pearl. This is White Pearl, but pink. This is what she looked like. She has the exact same hair
I was
And the exact
I was
same
like,
thing
oh,
with
it's
this
our
one.
pearl. No, it's yellow pearl. And yeah, it was. So yeah, that's.
Well, I think the running theory is that it's a pink pearl, and that turned into white pearl at some
Yeah.
point, like due to
That's what I was trying to say.
Yeah. Like I don't think we know it's white pearl, but it looks a lot like what white pearl ends up being. So
Yep.
Okay. What's the kiss? I have kiss written down. What happened? I forgot.
I don't remember a kiss. In this
Okay.
episode.
Yellow Diamond is watching apparently, and then
Yeah,
someone's.
her neck.
that animation of her neck.
Oh, the
just,
neck.
like,
That's right. Oh, yeah.
rolling around.
Yeah.
this
Okay.
little, like snake.
Also, the whole sequence was kind of like really old Disney with no dialogue, and that was really creepy.
Yeah, for a while there was nothing. Yeah, until I guess we got audio back at the end. But yeah, there's like I was like, oh, is this? At some point, I was like, oh, is this just going to be a silent episode? Like,
Yeah, that's what I thought too.
Yeah.
I was really kind of excited for that.
Well, the creepy part is the only audio was Stephen coughing.
Yeah.
It's
That's when
like
it
he's
comes back.
dying in the middle of this flashback, and then like he ends up coughing up pink hair in front of White Diamond.
Right. Then we see White Diamond, and then Steven's coughing up pink hair, and that's the nightmare sequence.
Yep.
Alex, what's your interpretation? Your dream interpretation?
I get. I don't know if we're gonna get into like Steven being able to have premonitions of the future, but I wonder if this is like representing his face off with White Diamond, and White Diamond potentially trying to like pull the roseness out of Steven, or like get like pull the pink diamondness out of Steven. Like I wonder if that sort of thing. But I don't think we've had anything before with in terms of like him going into the future. Most of his dreams and nightmares have been in the past or possessing another person. So we could always add more power. We've done that a lot already. So that's certainly possible. But I do have an inkling that like this might be something future related.
I read this completely different. I think this is supposed to be Rose planning for a ball at the same time he's planning for a ball in the present. And this is, I think how I read him throwing up the Pink's hair was just that I think Steven is doing things Rose's way right now, and he doesn't realize that that's not going to work. He needs to do it his way, and that's kind of like what we're going to get into in the next part of these episodes. That he needs to do it his way instead of just trying to repeat the past like Rose did.
Yeah, I have a pretty simple interpretation of the coughing up the pink hair. It's just like the identity dissociation between Steven and Pink Diamond.
Yeah.
Like everyone's calling him Pink, so this is like his internal angst about his mom he's Pink Diamond, you know. So he's just literally coughing up a part of him that but very, very, I think, Adventure Timey sequence. I would say that this ends
They've
up
been
being-
very Adventure Timey on Homeworld in general.
Yeah. Once again,
Well, also just when this show has gone to nightmares, it always ends up being kind of freaky, because this also is very reminiscent of the Jungle Moon sequence, where like the nightmare is like tiny Stevonnie and giant Connie's mom is Yellow Diamond. Like that was also pretty freaky. So I think that this show just knows how to do nightmares with the strange imagery of like tiny person and giant person.
yeah, we definitely saw dream stuff before from Steven Universe. Third episode in a row, Tom has been credited as a storyboarder along with Lamar and Christine for this episode. So yeah, more Adventure Time influence continues. You could see it like that. But rest of the episode, we have Blue and Yellow Diamond talking to them about the ball. They're like assigning their pearls to help, and they say you got to go over the customs with Pink. I think who says this? Steven, come on, party pearls.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're definitely party pearls, sure. Then the sequence, we've referenced a few things here, with the blue and yellow pearls talking to Steven. Steven's like having ideas for the ball, and they're just shooting everything down. And what you're supposed to do, sit on an elevated throne while members of your court indicate that their presence, and then you accept or reject members of your court. That's the Homeworld definition of the ball.
We still haven't really gotten into if Pink Diamond still has a court.
Right. Last episode,
Yeah.
Pearl is like, "Oh, what's going on with your court?" And then, we see Gems presenting to Steven here.
But
So
I guess.
I guess those are Pink's court or potential Pink court members, right?
I don't know. The colors didn't line up, but Homeworld's confusing.
It was confusing, and it was not definitively stated by the show. But yeah, that seems to be a running thread we're going to be hitting on. What is the state of Pink's court. We got the stars no from
Oh my stars.
Was it oh my stars or oh stars no?
No, you're right. So,
No, you're right.
Stars,
Dylan's
no.
right.
Oh,
That was
stars
so
no.
good. I literally laughed so hard when she said that I like missed part of the scene afterwards. It was so good.
Yeah. You don't dance, the subjects dance for you, and then what about having fun? What is fun?
I literally, for like a split second, I thought they were going to do the SpongeBob.
The SpongeBob's, I thought that too. Yeah.
Because Connie literally just started asking, like, do you not know?
Connie starts explaining fun. It's like, you could have done this in SpongeBob's song form, Connie.
Yeah,
like,
that is a YouTube poop waiting to happen.
It's already being made, yeah. And then Blue Pearl likes to draw, and her diamond allows her to draw during court proceedings. And then she starts showing them off, and then Yellow likes the drawings of herself, Yellow Pearl.
And she likes being modeled, and it's like a nice callback to also like Jungle Moon. We see that Yellow Pearl takes selfies, so like we know that she's kind of a vain kind of gem.
Yeah.
So it's all coming together. The Pearl's personality has been foretold, and we're finally coming to see it.
Yeah, Blue Pearl with the I like to draw, like just so precious.
It's so cute.
I wonder if Blue Pearl will show Steven that picture she drew of him at the trial where he's like karate kicking someone.
Yeah. What about Steven's drawings from when Steven was Pink that we saw before?
I hope they compare notes, compare drawings.
Drawings. A lot of like art themes, I think, running through. Like artistic suppression, but Blue is apparently allows some of that, but it's like in the context of like an official duty. They're really hammering in the duality of Blue Diamond. I think so. That's the next thing. So then Blue comes in, and Steven's talking about, we can't invite my friends, and then Blue just starts going off on. I think on Steven and everyone, and Blue I think appears sympathetic most of the episode, and then like later is like, oh, you're doing great, sweetie, like you're and that but then Blue starts like, does that call herself a garnet, and just being really like bigoted to all these gems and stuff. So I think this has been like a consistent thing from Blue Diamond, is just seeing these sides of her. Alex, what do you think of that?
Yeah. This is what I talked about last episode with the question of if Blue Diamond was sympathetic. And I was like, well, she has history of being bad with gems, and I don't think that's gone away. And here we see that it hasn't gone away. That's something that's very ingrained in the Diamond philosophy. And Steven showing up with this crew isn't enough to get them to reconsider it as of yet. So I think that there's going to be if this is going to change, it's going to need to be something monumental to get them to do that. Because as we saw in their reactions at the party, like even something as big as that just puts them back into their instincts of no, fusion's bad, gems that aren't perfect are bad, get them away. So we still need a lot of work to do before at least I feel comfortable calling them sympathetic.
Yeah. Andy, what was your reaction to Blue Diamond this episode?
I thought it was really there was a lot of whiplash here with Blue Diamond, and I really liked it because it felt very real. It felt very much like this is a person. There's people like this in the real world, and I really liked them showing that she was so sympathetic and so caring for Steven, but at the same time so not able to understand anybody else besides Steven because they weren't related to her, and I really liked that being portrayed.
Yeah, I think Blue is very nice to Steven always, but then she calls Connie a pet. She says that she's like talking to Garnet as if Garnet's not there, right? Like that's and
she doesn't really understand Steven either. She's just trying for Steven.
She's like humoring Steven as if it's a phase for Pink, basically. And she also calls Amethyst like, oh, you don't meet the height requirements. We're going to give you limit answers. But yeah, they're like talking to Garnet as if Garnet's not even there. And does that call her something? It's like classic bigotry portrayal, I feel like. So this is she just came across me as extremely cruel, I think, in this part of the episode. And it's a good, I think Blue Diamond is a good portrayal of a person that is like, oh, that's a nice person. That's like a person that's sweet. But then they just have this hate for different types of people in them. And
it's funny because I think Yellow Diamond's a little more sympathetic after this episode because at least I feel she's much more genuine than Blue Diamond ever is.
Right. Blue Diamond comes across as like, oh, I'm sweet, but I actually am just like a bigot. Whereas Yellow Diamond's like, oh, I'm not a great person. So you're like, oh.
But she's not like. But it's not like it doesn't feel like it's in a hateful way. It's just in like a controlling way that Yellow is.
That's true. I think that's a fair point that maybe Blue comes across as more bigoted than Yellow in certain aspects. Yeah, like Yellow, you could argue Yellow poofs everyone for control, not for hatred.
Yeah, she's not. I really do think it's because White Diamond's there. I think she would have at least let Steven talk to her if White Diamond wasn't watching. But that's obviously just conjecture.
Yeah, I really just think they've been having really complex portrayals of the two diamonds there. And I think that's why a big part of the episode does work for me, is because we see these different facets continued from the last two episodes of Blue and Yellow. And then you kind of see their pearls, maybe a little bit offsets of them, but also their own things. And that's really fantastic too. These two are just, these two gems. I don't know, like, are they going to be part of the show after this event? They seem like main characters now. But maybe it's just the current state.
I'm just really worried because, like, I find Yellow and Blue so much more interesting than White Diamond right now. Like, I don't really care about White Diamond at all because I just want to see Yellow and Blue, like, interact with our characters now forever because they're just so interesting seeing them.
Yeah, I find them so fascinating. Yeah, White is just a presence, like an off-screen presence for now,
which is fine. Like, that's cool, but I just don't feel like she's a character at all. Like, I don't really care what she does at all.
Yeah, I think we will address that.
Well, soon. But I mean, right now, that's how I feel.
I agree with that. It felt more hefty, like it was like, oh, it's White Diamond's introduction, but at the same time, I'm more characterization wise, definitely more interested in the other two. So,
and also we don't have a lot of time left to show characterization for White Diamond, which I'm also worried about.
Yeah, I don't know what's that. I thought like, oh, we're just gonna go pedal the metal here, plot, and then this episode's a little bit more calm, even though things happen at the end. So very interested to see how we're approaching. I mean, I still think like the 44-minute event, that's a lot of time to do a lot of stuff. Yeah, especially if they go pedal to metal the entire way, they could accomplish a lot in that. We'll get back to escapism in a second. The parts of the ball we haven't talked about yet are the Amethyst. I said Peridot. We mentioned Peridot, but Amethyst limb enhancers here, and she's like has a party trick, and she's gonna mingle with some quartzes. But very weird seeing them on Amethyst. Is this a Amidot moment? Amethyst with the limb enhancers?
I guess.
Well, there's gonna be fan art that's Amidot.
How dare you dismiss that, Alex? Yeah, there's gonna be fan art. And then I'm just missing Peridot. Really, Peridot's reaction to everything here would be really good. But
I just want more Peridot all the time, Dylan.
I mean, that's always our stance, I think.
Also, you guys were talking about how Blue and Yellow Diamond are characters now. Remember we used to say that about Peridot? Hey, like, she's a main character now.
Yeah.
She just disappeared, off into the ether.
Yeah, we've commented that before. The show has not seemed really interested in making Peridot a full main character.
And I don't think the Diamonds either. Like, I think that same thing's going to happen. Like, they're important in this arc, and then afterwards, like, it'll just go back to being in the background.
But the most important thing here is we see Blue Pearl's art with all of the meat morphs.
Oh, that's true. I forgot about the meat morphs. That's another art theme thing that we need to get into here. Yeah. We need to see Blue Pearl trading notes with Lapis. That would be pretty fun. Then bonding with Lapis and Peridot. Okay, there's good fanfic material there. But and the rubies and sapphires, we see a bunch of them, and then our rubies and sapphire among them, and then the introductions. Okay, we talked about that, right? Prepare yourselves emotionally for.
It's a good line.
It's a good. That's probably my favorite. Alex, anything from the episode else you want to talk about, or final thoughts here?
Also, I'd like to point out that the closed captioning called the gear-looking gems jades. So so I guess they're jades. Their design is very interesting. I especially love the shot when they do the dancing, and since they're gears, they look at them from above, and so it just looks like the gears are like cogged into each other, as if they were all like a machine. There's something very poetic about that, the Homeworld society just being full of gears that serve their purpose, and they just roll into each other. So anyways, I really love the idea of gear gems and then like using it for that. As for the rest of the episode, I think that while there are fun moments like the pearls and stuff, and Blue Diamond also being her racist self against these other gems and humans. Like they're all interesting moments, but I do feel sometimes that it doesn't feel like a cohesive episode, and maybe that's what kind of dampened on it, because it feels like we're talking about different sections rather than a full episode as we've been talking here. So maybe I'm trying to figure out why I didn't react as strongly to this episode as previous ones, and I feel like maybe that's something to do with it after talking it through. But yeah, I think that there's a lot of cute moments, a lot of funny moments, and that final scene of everyone fusing and then getting poofed is like incredibly action-packed for the small amount of time that it gets. So yeah, and I'm excited to see what happens with Steven and Connie in jail. Steven and Connie get good scenes here that they haven't gotten together in a long time. Like we talked about them with the chair, and like Connie being like, "Hey, I see you as Steven, not as Pink Diamond." Like I love that little conversation. Mm-hmm. Also, Steven and Connie are sleeping together in the same bed. It's cute. And like Steven gets one side of the bed, Connie gets the other side of the bed, and it's all nice. So Steven and Connie are the greatest relationship.
Are you shipping it, Alex? Is that what you're saying?
Am I shipping it? As if I haven't been a Converse shipper for a while.
Is that a thing? Is that part of the podcast canon that you've been?
I can't remember.
I don't think I've been on a podcast that was able to talk about it, just because Connie and Steven haven't had much interaction, and we had that arc of them like being angry at each other, and then at the end they got together. And it's like, okay, sure, but then we didn't get much of them after that, after their like resolution. So we've been very lacking in the Steven Connie relationship, and I'm glad that this episode took time. Despite the whole Homeworld environment and like all the crazy stuff that happens with the diamonds, I'm glad that there was some time made for Steven and Connie just talking to each other and reminding you why Connie is important to Steven's grounding.
Yeah, absolutely. Andy, final thoughts here.
Oh, I just want to say that I think we're just used to Alex being a wet blanket with Starco, so we're just used to him not liking good
ships.
Yeah,
just in my head, Alex is just an anti-shipper. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, but
Steven Universe has the best ships. The Converse, it's got Lapidot and Perlmuth.
Why do you keep calling it Converse? That's so stupid.
Well, give me a better ship name.
Stevonnie.
No, because that's like calling the ship Garnet when like Ruby and Sapphire.
Some people call it Garnet. Okay.
No, but that's the wrong way to do a ship. Like,
okay.
You can't just copy the fusion name and make it the ship name. That makes things a lot more confusing.
Fusion is a representation of love, so it makes sense if it's the ship.
But when they become fusions, they become a separate entity. Yeah, they become their own thing. So like it doesn't work like that.
Yeah, I think we've talked about this before on the podcast. Okay, Andy.
I'm really happy that we're sticking with the really absurdist elements of Homeworld. I really like that there's just the Jades are really weird shapes, and they like Alex said, they spin around each other. I'm really upset that you guys missed the crazy disco ball gems, because that was also really absurd. But it's also all just really creepy, and I like that. I like that we're leaning into this, because it's just something that only an animated show can do, really, to have this absurd setting that just feels creepy at the same time without feeling like ham-fisted at all. Like, this feels really big, and I'm really excited to see more of it in the future episodes we have on Homeworld.
Yeah. I like this episode. I thought there's a ton of consequential, fun stuff. I think I agree that it doesn't come together. Like last week's episode just felt so thematically consistent and brilliant. And this week, I don't know what the running theme is, but I think there's a few we talked about. But it just it feels like a stepping stone episode. But I think that's still great, and it's still I don't think this is like breaking our streak of since Can't Go Back, just incredible episodes every single time out for the show. So very much looking forward to Escapism next week. We see the preview with Connie and Steven in jail, and they're talking about how, we have no one to call. And then Steven's like, he says it in a way that makes you think like, oh, there is someone to call. And I assume that it is Lars.
Oh man, it's going to be so good.
Right? I mean, who else does he have to call, except
no, it's going to be Lars.
He's a portal to in his head, yeah.
But Dylan, that also means we can get back to Earth. We can get back to Beach City.
No, we're not going back to Beach City. We're bringing Lars to Homeworld, probably, I think.
Hey, what about Lapis? I mean, what if Lapis reforms and flies Peridot to Homeworld?
I guess that's possible.
Oh yeah, this is also how Lapis and Peridot can get to Homeworld.
Yeah, we could do that.
Bismuth won't come.
It depends where Lars is, I guess. But like if Lars got back to Earth in the meantime, then he could show up with Lapis and Peridot.
Well, no. They can go. Can't they go through Lion's Mane into Lars?
Oh yeah.
Can they do that? Yeah.
Or Steven can bring them.
I don't know if I think it's just Steven.
Okay.
That's confusing. And then the other thing is we know the Escapism song is coming, and it seems like that will be a Steven and Connie song now.
I have remained pure and not listened to the Escapism song.
Okay.
The audio isn't out there. We just know that it's Steven.
Okay.
Yeah, but we know who sings it. Steven, Connie, and Stevonnie. So it seems to be like a trio sort of thing where like maybe the guess is they sing it like individually, then they fuse and the song continues.
Fusion mid-song seems pretty fantastic, so I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so Escapism next week sounds like a little bit of a setup episode to the Battle of Heart and Mind event, but who knows? With this episode ramped up pretty quick, so
I mean, there could be 90 seconds of craziness in the middle of it.
That's what's gonna happen now. Just random diamond stuff popping up in a minute in random places. Yep. Nope. We're 5 episode intervals away from the end of the season, the end of this era of the show. I mean, we called this the start of a new era here, so still potentially tracking whether this is the end of the show as we know it. And I mean, it's going to continue past this, but who knows what the story will be when we get to the movie and into season 6.
Are we in era 3 of the show?
Right. I think like this is era 2 of the show, and then season 6 will be era 3 of the show. Maybe the movie starts that off. Yeah.
Next era will follow those 2 random gems that fused.
They're the main characters now.
Yeah, they're the main characters now.
Okay, I accept. That's fine. Yeah, so let us know what you thought of this episode in the comments on the website at overlyanimated.com or on the YouTube comments. Justin's going to be doing feedback here, or just give your reaction to this podcast. And you can also talk about it with us on our Discord, overlyanimated.com/Discord. And you can support us via Patreon, patreon.com/overlyanimated. Thank you very much to all of our current patrons, especially our patron of the podcast, Sarah, aka SarahNet, was on the podcast last week. And thanks as always to our patron executive producers, John, Ryan, Steve, Alex, and Hugh. Feedback's coming up. We had last week's Steven Universe podcast. We also just had the results of our end of year OVA's award show where Steven won big in the night, taking home the top 2 prizes. So you can check out the podcast for that in your Steven Universe podcast feed where we analyze the results there. But yes, we declared Steven, or at least our award show declared Steven the best show of the year. And you can also check out our top episodes list coming up. Which will be published on the site tomorrow, where Steven Universe will be well represented as well. Top 50 episodes of the year. And then we also have Ruby coverage. Forgot about that. And, for running Ruby coverage, there's a queer representation podcast. Steven Universe is featured in that. And Alex apparently has a final thought.
Yeah, I just want to say that thank you all to those who have listened to Overly Animated in 2018. We've done a lot of podcasts. And I just thought about like basically listening to a podcast with people who talk about animation. Even if you're alone, it feels like you're together with people. So it's listening to podcasts is like being together alone. And so we thank you all for being together alone with us.
So I was in for the first half of what you were saying. It was very sweet.
I'm sorry. I almost laughed really hard when you said
Then you turned it into a stupid pun. I was out on.
How dare you? I was being very genuine about enjoying the togetherness. Puns can be genuine.
Can they?
Yes.
Okay, yeah. As Alex mentions, though, yes, Happy New Year. We are like 3 hours away from that, so you're not going to listen to this before the new year. But yes, happy 2019 and looking forward to Steven Universe in the new year, especially Battle of Heart and Mind, potentially the movie, potentially season 6 could be a big year. So let us know what you thought of the episode. You can leave comments, talk about us on Discord, yada yada. Thanks for listening, guys. We will see you next time. Bye.
Adios.
Bye.